Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Email Creation, Going Past the Basics.
This is going to be a presentation from iContact as well as Stripo,
an alternative to iContact's drag and drop editor. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer, Senior Manager of Marketing and Operations at iContact, and I'm joined by Jane Dolinkina Dramina.
She is with Stripo.
She's located in the Ukraine, so this is going to be a pre-recorded webinar, but I will be around to watch for questions and go ahead and answer those questions live in chat today. Enjoy. Let's get the party started. Here's a little bit of an overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about email marketing and why design matters. As well, we'll talk about best practices when you're creating your emails. And I want to show you a little bit really quickly how to design emails in iContact.
Then I'm going to hand it over to Jane so she could talk about Stripo,
an alternative to iContact's editor, which gives you a little bit more features and maybe some freedoms to do some more things with your emails. There is a direct integration to iContact. You can sign up for free and you can try it out. Let's talk about email marketing design and why it matters. It's important to make sure that when you create an email, you're thinking about what you're doing rather than slapping something together and sending it out the door. Good email design increases engagement with your emails. People will tend to engage with your emails more. Poorly designed emails will do the opposite. It'll make people run away from your email quicker, and they'll become more disinterested in the content that's in your email if it's not designed in a good way. It also helps you gain insights in customer behavior. If it's laid out correctly or strategically, you'll have better analytics to look at. You'll be able to convert more quality leads and have better and more conversions as well. Good design helps you resonate with customers. It is your branding. It is what your company stands for. It's what you do. It's how you represent yourself. It needs to look the same on your website, your landing pages, as well as within your emails. Customers are influenced in buying through marketing emails. We always talk about the importance of email marketing and the ROI being, anywhere from $47 to $43 per dollar you spend on email marketing, but more than half of the population that buy things are influenced by emails. That's why it's important to make sure you're designing emails that matter. Images that contain a subject in a variety of colors will increase people's willingness to buy by 80%. You want to use more images in your emails if you can, because it does help with that conversion. Let's take a look at these emails. They're kind of, the content in these emails is repetitive and redundant. I'm not a big fan of these emails. There's just a lot going on. It doesn't make me want to convert at all. This is a little bit better, and we're going to talk about why it's a little bit better later on when we look at some other examples. But design does matter, folks. It matters how you lay out your emails and what content you put in there. Then also, even if you're just using plain text emails, you have links in those emails, and they may be hard to click on a mobile device. You have to keep that in mind. At least spread out your links so that people do not fat finger the links and go to the wrong links and become frustrated. That's just a little quick tip there. Here are some examples of emails that I feel are a little bit more better laid out and have some more engagement. Images, a little bit of what we call negative or white space. There's separation around the content in the email, different colors, calls to action. These are some examples of some good emails. And here is this right now. For every dollar spent on marketing, there's an average return of $36, which is right now. So go out and get that money, folks. Let's talk about layouts, because how you lay out your emails really does matter. We have a promotional email, and this would be an email that really just highlights a product or a service you have. Maybe you're launching a new product. You would use a big hero image to lay out that product or that service. and it allows the focus on that. And then you see the heading 50% off, and then the call to action button, shop the collection. This is a great example of a promotional layout for one product or service. Maybe you have a blog and you want to get people interested in reading your blog. Using a great image, the featured image from your blog, a little descriptor of the blog post, and then continue reading is a great way to get people to go back to your blog post. It's a great way to keep people informed, let them know when new posts are out. Next, we have our informative layout. This is where you just want to provide more information about your products and services, kind of similar to the blog layout. You have an image, you have a description, and then you have a call to action. Great way to talk about more than one product or service. Now we have e-commerce layouts. This is slightly different because you want to put more products on there if you have more than one product to offer at that time. You'll have that one big hero image at the top with a huge call to action. Then you have some products and services, again, a descriptor and a button. They all look very similar, but they're not exactly the same. There's slight variations to the way these are laid out, and hopefully this is very helpful. Let's move on and talk about some basic design building blocks that you should be using, which gives you the mechanism to get more conversions, to get more engagement, get people to read your emails. You can use text blocks in emails, but they work, but maybe not all the time. And here's an example of a text block that just gives information. Yeah, sure, it works. But you should couple it with other types of blocks that we're going to talk about. Here's a variation. On the left is mostly just text, and on the right, we have text and a background image that makes things stand out just a little bit more and makes that text pop a little bit. Play around with your text and use different variations. When you're designing, design with a purpose. Maybe there's a holiday coming up and you can tie into that holiday. Maybe it's Halloween, maybe it's New Year's. Whatever that is, you can slightly alter the color scheme of your images to match the holiday, but just make sure you're staying true to your branding along the way. Use a hero image which is a huge, an image or a video at the top of your email or somewhere in the email where it can be seen right away, because humans are visual by nature. We love images. That's why Instagram is very popular right now. It should be the first thing people see and draws their eye in and gets them interested in reading the rest of the email or that text, that heading text that you have on the image or right below the image. Images and video help showcase your products and services to get them interested in buying. Maybe you can invoke emotion to get them to convert. Again, be visual, because we're visual by nature. Humans are visual creatures. The more visuals you use, the more pleasing your email is. Use quality images when you're creating your emails. Don't use grainy photos or photos that you made larger and they're very grainy and not in focus. Stock images are okay, but don't use them all the time. You can use, just regular graphics. You can use Canva. Canva is a great tool to use. We did a webinar a while back on design and around using Canva. Canva is a great tool to use. You don't have to use images. They have stock images that you can but add stuff on top of, like shapes and images to make it look better. But if you can, use your own images and your own videos. That will resonate more with your audience. Remember, users are 80% more likely to read content combined with images. People remember more when they visually see something and it reinforces what they just read. Your emails need to be simple and understandable. You have a short amount of time to get people's attention. That's why images are important, and that's why your call to action is important, or your headings, so that people know what the email is about and they decide if they want to continue to read. Start out with good design and use white or negative space, which means everything's not cluttered and you have some space around your text, around your images, and it helps people actually see what's on the screen rather than trying to figure out where the break is and what's different from one section to another. Use colors that matter. Use your branding colors or ones that evoke emotion or maybe logic. Use red when somebody maybe needs to really pay attention to something and it's really important. Blues and greens usually calm people down. Just depending on your email, just make sure you're using the right colors. And also, you want to make sure you're using a good downward flow. If your email's a little bit longer, you want to make sure you keep people reading and get them to go down in the email. And I'll show you an example of a couple ways to do that in a few moments. You can also take a look at what you're doing now. Maybe you're here and you're already using email marketing, you're already designing, you're just ready to take it to the next level. It's always good to improve on your designs. Here is one an email that has a lot of clutter going on. There's a little bit of white space, but not a lot. The colors to me just don't mesh together. I go right from the top all the way to the bottom. I'm missing what's in the middle, and there's just too much going on. And if we look at a variation of something similar on the right, like numerous products, yeah, sure, you don't have to have 800 products in your email, but put in the products that matter and use, layouts that align, use some white space, the hero image with the text on top of it, and then also show people how they can follow you on social media. I think the email on the right hand side is way better than the email on the left hand side. What about you? What are your thoughts? Here is an email from Apple. They use a lot of white space or negative space, which helps people realize, hey, that's a laptop. And most people know who Apple is and what they sell. They're really just letting the product sell itself. And here's Storied. They're using negative space. They're using black instead of white. And they're actually toning down their images and using more of a black and white feel, which makes you want to see what these stories are about and click through. Really love those examples. I love to use the classic Z pattern. For people that read, usually in English mostly, they read from left to right and down. If you align your email to go left to right and then down, people will read more of your email. This way, it's just drawing them down over, 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 and down. Keep them reading your email. Or maybe you don't have a lot of products or you don't have a lot of sections. You can use what's called the inverted pyramid, where you start at the top and bring it down to a narrow bottom, which is your call to action or your button. You see a large image at the top, you see a text block that's a little bit narrower, and then the button that's even narrower at the bottom. Inverted pyramid, try that and see if that works. Let's talk about designing in general and taking it further. As I mentioned, maybe you're doing something like you have some clutter or you're not using enough images. What can you be doing? Here is the Vermont Food Bank. Here's an email that they used to use and they wanted to take it further or enhance and change what they're doing. Here is the newer version. Looks a little bit more modern. They added another image in line. It kind of draws you down. You see the top, you see the logo, you see the donate button. You start going down, you see the image. And then for me, what I see is the signature line down at the bottom. It's just rethinking what you're currently doing. And sometimes small changes matter and can help. Ensure that you're giving your subscriber the best possible experience you can. Each email you create should be responsive. It should look the same, or not the same, but it should look really good on both desktop, mobile, and on a tablet. Because if somebody's on a mobile device, nobody wants to zoom in to see something or try to click a small little link on their phone like I showed you earlier. Make sure that your designs look great on all devices.
With iContact and even with Stripo.
Your emails are automatically converted to look good on any device. But if you're bringing your own code in, you're using your own HTML, make sure that you're coding for each device, the tablet, the desktop or laptop, as well as the mobile device. Now, I want to give you a quick checklist before you hit send, now that I gave you a lot of great information. Before you hit send, let's talk about what you should do. Make sure your text to image ratio is good. I told you to use images and video, but you want to make sure that your emails are not all images. Otherwise, it may be marked as spam. There's the 60-40 rule. 60% of your email should be text, 40% should be images. If you have basically more text than you do images, you'll probably do a lot better. Next, make sure your emails are mobile responsive. Make sure they look great and they're engaging on a mobile device. The email size should be very small. In other words, it's how much content or HTML is in the background of your email. What you could do is, if you feel like you're having an issue, you have a lot of content in your email, export the HTML into, say, like a text file and just look at the size of it. Because if it's over
128 kilobits.
It's not a lot, but it's a lot for email. Your email may actually be truncated. In other words, in Gmail, you may have seen click here to read this email. And what happens is the bottom of your email is actually cut off, and people will not be able to see that right away unless they click that read more. Most importantly, that unsubscribe link is hidden because your email was truncated. So just take a look at the size. It's not something you holistically need to worry about, but I just like to mention it just in case. Your subject line is very important. We've had numerous webinars talking about using engaging subject lines, using emoji. Your subject line should be 6 to 10 words in length. And to follow up on that, make sure to use the pre-header or the preview text, which in our editor, we have that right below the subject line. It's basically an extension of your subject line, where you can have a subject line of on sale this week, everything you need, and below that would be free shipping on orders $50 or more. Like I said, it's an extension of your subject line. It allows people to see more content of what's in your email rather than can't view this email, click here to view online. It's very helpful to use. Before you hit send and you want to make sure people are going to see your email, and you're ensuring that your spacing is good, using white space, and you have good calls to action, do something called the squint test. Bring up your email on your screen, squint really hard, and look at your email. And if it looks like this, and then the actual email when you're not squinting looks like this, and you can kind of really figure out what's there without struggling, I think you did a good job. You passed the test. But if you squint and everything is just running together, you may want to go back and edit your email. Make sure to test your emails. Run experiments or split tests. A split test is when you take one version of an email and you test it against another version of an email. Let's say you're going to do a subject line test. What you can do is take one email, take the subject line and create it, make a copy of your email, create a different subject line, and what you can do is send your email to 10% of your list, the first version. Second version would be 10%, another 10% of your list, the second version, version A, version B. Let it go and sit for a little while, and then see which one has higher opens because you're using the subject line, and then send a winning version to the remaining 80% of your list. Compare variations to determine which one is the most effective. And what you want to do is make sure you're testing the right things, and test one thing at a time. Test your subject line, your pre-header, from name, from email, content, images, and design. Testing the right things matter. It helps you create more engaging emails, and you find out what resonates more with your audience. You can choose the winning email automatically or manually. In iContact, you can do either or. You can say, hey, after 24 hours, after 48 hours, whichever one has the most opens, I want to send the winner to the remaining 80% of my list. Or you can do it manually if you want to. Make sure to use at least two versions. Sometimes you can do multiple tests where you can do other tests of the subject line later on, or maybe you're just going to test content. It doesn't matter. Test something, but make sure you're only testing one element at a time, folks. You got this. You definitely can start designing more emails, and you're going to be testing more. With iContact, if you're a customer, we have expert help. We can help you along the way. If you're using another provider, they probably have help or blog articles that can help you as well. But just make sure that you're going in, you're designing great emails, using all of the tips and strategies I just gave you today, and then more importantly, you're testing your emails. I want to show you a little bit really quickly how to design an iContact and how to use the editor if you're not a customer. And if you are and you haven't used it often enough, maybe you'll still get some good tips out of this. But definitely stay tuned for this Stripo part of this webinar. In iContact, when you log in, you see your dashboard and you just click on Create Message. From there, you can choose a category and then choose one of the pre-built templates we have if you want to. And you can always start from scratch as well. And I'll show you that in a few moments. But once you get into the editor, you're going to do all the normal things like give your message a name, an internal name, choose your subject line, choose the preview text that we mentioned earlier, your sender property, you can change the reply to. That's all just the settings. But what we really want to focus on today is the content rows and themes. When you bring up one of our templates, the first thing you can do is start adding more content or editing it. You can click on any of the blocks or rows that are in the editor, and you can just start editing what's there already, changing an image, updating text and width, background color, all those good things. But you can also put in, text, images, captions, collage, video, buttons, dividers, social media, and HTML. We do have stock photos available, so you can use those. You can upload your own. There's a lot of great tools. You can use the video block and bring in your Vimeo or your YouTube. But make sure you're following some of the guidelines that I mentioned when you are designing your email. Some white space and the classic Z pattern inverted pyramid. This one here looks like it could be an inverted pyramid if we wanted it to be. Just have a text block below this image here and make that a little bit narrower than the image, and then a call to action button. That would be a great way to use that, the inverted pyramid. Next is maybe you want to add more rows. At the top where it says logo, that is probably a one column row, and below that again is a one column row. Maybe you wanted to put a couple calls to action or maybe social media in between the logo and the image. You can drag over the two column block, which is the second one down, or row, sorry, and then drag that over right into the email, and then add your elements in there, your content, the blocks we showed earlier. Very easy to use. You can duplicate rows, duplicate columns, all those great things. Then there's also the theme, where you can go in and choose a theme that's available with different colors that are already preset, and everything else is preset, like if your links are underlined, the font colors. But what's really great is you can actually go in and customize the themes to your liking. You can change the body text to heading text, whether or not the links are underlined or not, your button colors. You can update the theme, you can save the theme, but then you can even override the theme for one element. Let's say all your buttons are green because the theme is green. You can change one to black without altering all of the other items. I feel like iContact has a really great, easy to use editor. Will allow you to get in and create those emails with the tips and strategies I told you about. And then once you're done, you go ahead and send your email. But let's talk about starting from scratch. Maybe you don't want to use any of the examples we provide. You kind of know what you want to build. You simply just hit start from scratch. The only difference here is that you need to drag rows over first before you go ahead and add your content. You head over to rows, drag a two column row over with a little block on the left and then a larger block on the right, or wider. Put your logo on the left and then maybe social media on the right. That's how you would do that using the same editor, but just starting from scratch. But wait, there's more. I've told you some tips and strategies around email design.
Now what I want to do is hand it over to Jane so that she could talk about Stripo
and the features and the functionality within their platform, and you can even take that over to iContact.
Stripo is an alternative.
It's not something you have to use, but you can use.
There's a lot going on with Stripo.
They have 1,000 templates and they're all responsive. We have a lot as well, but maybe you want some more or different templates. You can generate brand design styles or a brand kit if you want to. You can add animations for rollover effects when people roll over a button. If you've heard of Google AMP, you can create AMP emails in Stripo. AMP is the way emails behave in Gmail, where different things and custom things can happen there. You can translate to other languages. You can save modules to use later, which is really cool. Embed video, add more and better and custom fonts if you want to. Countdown timers, you have unlimited projects, 100 member users with available roles.
So you can create roles within Stripo
to help people that have larger teams use the product, create tests, and share the results with your team if you have more than one person at your organization. You can send an email as a test, create a shareable link, send a PDF, and then also export the HTML. And with that, I am going to hand it over to Jane
so that she can talk about Stripo.
So Jane, take it away.
Hey Hank, thank you for having me here. I would love to introduce you Stripo platform for drag and drop template creation. So crafting a good email copy is a challenging thing today. That is why Stripo was developed in a way to suit wide range of demands, from solitary freelancers to corporate clients. Your headache is over now. With Stripo, you will be able to create fully responsive, professional designed email copies with zero HTML knowledge and design difficulties. Building dynamic interactive templates, full access to models library and prepared templates, HTML and CSS editor, testing, exporting, and even plugin application and many other things are waiting for you in Stripo for free without trial period, only 2 minutes for registration and email address needed only. So after registration, you will have your Stripo profile with 7 primary tabs here. First tab is profile, and here you can put your own information, change password and account removal if necessary. My organization tab have all information about your subscription type and ability to purchase extra services as extra users, timer views, extra email client test, and extra expert. I will tell you more about them a little bit later. And want to assure you guys that you can use Stripo for free, unlimited quantity of time if all possibility of free plan suits your business need. Why not? But in case you want to upgrade, it's easy to do by clicking on this orange button and choose suitable plan for you, or ability to pay annually and pay monthly. Okay guys, let's proceed to users tab. Starting from medium plan and beyond, you will be able to invite your colleague to work with you. How to do it? Let's invite my own account. Click on Invite Users button, add email of the person that relates to its free Stripo account, set the respective permission. We have 6 roles: owner, admin, designer, writer, proofreader, and viewer. For example, let's put admin. And about all this role you can find here in this pop-up window, and check what each user can do with your account area or drag and drop editor. Also, you may allow your user to have access to all your project or only to particular one, for example this one, and click Invite Participants button. Great, we have invited my second account. Great guys, tab Billing. You will need this tab only if you decide to upgrade your account, and this tab will have your payment history, all your invoice and payment method and billing info here. Tab Plugins can literally boost your application into another level by giving possibilities to your customers to create responsive email copies directly in your application. How to embed Stripo plugin into application? You can find in Stripo plugin documentation. The link will be down below. Or you can always request 1-hour demo to see all capabilities of Stripo plugin, as they tell me that it's better to see once than the write or read 100 times. And tab Brand Guidelines for the basic plan and beyond can help to save your life if you always want to be on brand, or quickly onboard new employees, or increase your email production capacities by creating brand guidelines guide in simply 1 minute. Let's do it right now. Click on new brand guidelines guide put the name of it, for example, test, select projects, and select templates. You may also choose primary color, so for example this blue one, and hit button generate. And system will generate your brand guidelines guide immediately. Not as immediately as I have a slow internet today, guys, sorry. Okay, let's view. Check the brand guidelines. And now we have our guide where all necessary information is settled and you can pass it to your designers for new email creation. Okay, guys, let's move on. Tab project, literally considered to be the main tab of your Stripo profile, as it contains all emails and templates that you will create in Stripo. When you register for free, you will be able to create 10 emails and templates and have one project. If you're willing to have more, you can always come back to My Organization and hit this orange button. You may need several projects as you can work with several different customers and just need to separate content from one to another. So tab projects is working as a big folders, but more in comprehensive sense. Each project has its own settings and let's check them. For example, settings are related to social network area that could save your precious time when you work with template with social blog. If you put your social addresses here, when you will be in the project, you can drag and drop the blog social, and all this address have been already put in this social blog. By the way, if these colorful icons are too much for you, you can click on this pop-up area and choose suitable ones for you. For example, these tiny monochromes ones. Great. Also, area merge tag will help you to personalize your content. Many of the users confess they would rather do a business with brand that use personalized content in their emails to increase relevancy of their experience. And by the way, we have checked that if you craft a personalized subject line, you can boost your open rates up to 50%. And it's fantastic, actually. So how to add merge tags from your email system to Stripo? You need to click on this plus right here, user tag, and put the name of your tag and its value. As I did with mine, I have put tags related to person's name right here. And now I'm ready to create personalized subject line. Let's go back to our template. Click on settings. And after word hello, if you want to get hello, for example, N, we need to put our merge tag related to person's name. Let's go back to project data, copy it, and input this merge tag right here, and it works as a placeholder of your template. When you send email from the system will pull unique information from your individual profile contact list, so you will be able to customize the content for each person from your list. By the way, if you put this tag in the merge tags area, you can quickly find it in the text block right here in this pop-up, like merge tags. We have already some merge tags embedded for most popular ESPs, and you need to scroll down till your custom tags and quickly add them. Okay, guys, let's move on. Let's go back to our project data. And special links area will help you to input your best marketing friends as unsubscribe link and view in browser, as I did with my unsubscribe here in the same manner. Click on plus and add name and value. Yes, our unsubscribe link is our friend, not because it's mandatory obligated to be in your template, but it helps to build strong relationship with your customers because it gives them a sense of control. And hiding your unsubscribe link could trigger spam filters that we definitely do not want. So how to add our unsubscribe link to the template? Go back to the template, scroll down till the end, for example, and find this unsubscribe word, just to make it obvious for all the customers. We need to click on it. After set this word as a link right here. And in this area, we need to choose the necessary unsubscribe link. I have already chose my custom link here, unsubscribe. But in case you're using such ESPs like GetResponse, MailChimp, Unisender, we also have some unsubscribes links embedded here. Okay, guys. Font management area, helping you to manage your standard and non-standard fonts. If you do not want to see any font in your pop-up list with the fonts, right here, you need to just toggle off this control. And from the basic plan and beyond, we offer possibility to add custom font to our project. For example, as I have added this John font from Google Font. Let's repeat this operation. Let's click on plus and put our font name. John. After, we need to put link in CSS format right here. Copy it and paste and add font family. Okay, and hit on connect button. Okay, and our custom font is already in our template right here in the custom fonts area. But please be advised, guys, that not all email clients supports custom fonts. Okay. Content display conditions settings will help you to add conditional code from your ESP directly to the project settings to quickly have it in your template. This conditional code will help you to display some information depending on geography of your customers or depending on age or even gender. I have already created my conditional code here, added my code from ESP like open code and close code to display some information only for male gender. And now I will add this code in template. I need to click on stripe, structure or container that I want to display it for a certain group of people and just hit the condition tab and apply display condition. And select my condition for male gender. And hit preview. And you see that display conditions have already been added to my code. But the final result, the actual display, you will see only after you send template from your ESP. Please be advised. Okay, go back to the editor, and I guess you are in doubt regarding your future templates design or idea of your future templates. And we offer you to find inspiration in more than 1,000 prepared templates here that made by our designers for you for any industry and any idea. You can click on these filters and choose suitable ones for you. Or you can check our prepared models, like in pre-built section, that you can find models for any feature using the category or tag. For example, find necessary signature right here and drag and drop it into the template and create your content in the few seconds. By the way, you also can save your own models into the library to reuse it in your future templates. I will show you how to do it. For example, we want to save this stripe. We need to click on stripe, find this pop-up toolbar, and click on save. Put the name of your models. For example, let's name it with my name and save. And also disable all categories. And after, check your models tab. Here is it, our models. We can drag and drop it and reuse. Okay, guys. So if we are a template, let's check Stripo layout closer. Stripo has a table layout in its base. First element is stripe, the second element is structure, and here is containers. Container could have unlimited quantity of blocks. And the main element is block, actually, guys. We have 10 blocks right here and 3 additional AMP1. I wouldn't stop directly on each of them, as I could talk about it for hours, so that we definitely do not want. But the features that consider to be the best email practices, we will check right now. For example, responsive templates. People want to be engaged in real-time content 24/7 using their mobile phones. Mobile phones are everywhere, in the gym, in the grocery store, and even in the bathroom. People who get used to see well-formatted, mobile-friendly designs will not more longer read poor-crafted templates. So Stripo made all templates responsive, and you can check how it looks like, how it displays on mobile, by clicking on preview and check the mobile version and desktop version. Stripo uses media queries to deliver email copies to different devices with different screen sizes. And check this style, you can in code editor, clicking on it, clicking in CSS tab, scroll down till you see the comment responsive styles. So, and they are working as conditional commenters or rules. If we use device width less than 600 pixels, then this CSS will be active. So your template will perfectly fit for any device width. By the way, tune your mobile view of the template, this one. You can easily do in your appearance, mobile formatting, and by playing this with these styles. Okay, guys. Visual components. Visuals does matter when it comes to email marketing. People will not be engaged in content that looks not eye-catchy. And Stripo offers you to enhance your content with dynamic visuals. So what blocks can be dynamic in Stripo? For example, block video. Let's find our block video, and we have 2 ways how add videos in templates. First way, it's simply drag and drop block video here, and put a link from Vimeo or VK. For example, let's put any video from YouTube. For example, this one. And let's put it right here. And add our custom thumbnail. For example, this. And when your customer will click your video, he will be or she will be redirected to the service where this video is situated in YouTube. Okay, and second way how to add video in template is to embed video right in your template, but please be advised that not all email clients support such way of adding videos. For this, we need to find my HTML block that uses each time you want to add external code to Stripo. We need to drag and drop it right here. After, we need to go to the help center of Stripo, the link will be down below, and add special code that provided also by Stripo in help center, and add this code in the blog right here. This code I'm using only for sample. In your case, you will need to change all link with your MP4 videos here and also with the thumbnails. And please be advised, guys, that you need to put your video on the open resource, for example, your site, that it could be visible to everyone. And let's check how our videos are working in web version of our template. To create web version of our template, we offer for basic plan and beyond option share. You can click on share button here and play with the settings. You can allow copying and editing, show the source code, include results of the test, and remove Stripo branding by toggle on and toggle off these controls, and generate the link for your customers or your colleague just to check how your template is displayed in browser. And let's check how our video is playing. Definitely everything is good. Okay, guys, by the way, if you share this link with your customer, and in case your customer has his own Stripo profile, he can sign up and save this template or edit this template. Okay, let's go back. By the way, GIF image can bring some additional dynamic in your content, and you can easily add it by drag and drop image block and upload GIF image. But please be advised that not all email clients support GIF images. For example, unfortunately, Outlook doesn't support it. And another dynamic feature of images could be rollover effect. So let's go down and find some image. Right here, click on it, find the rollover effect and enable it, and add another image that equals with the widths and heights to this one, our primary one. Okay, let's add, for example, this one. And when you hover the block, images are changing. By the way, if you want to tune your image, you can do it right in the Stripo without any third-party service. All you need is click on this image edit feature and use this instrument, for example, crop your image. I think it's a very useful instrument. Okay, guys, we have noticed that CTA that made as a buttons attracts more attention than CTA that made as a link, for example. For this, we not only created the button as separate element block right here, but also we offer you to have animated buttons in your template, and you can achieve it by clicking on appearance, proceeding to buttons option, and highlight hovered buttons right here. Let's pick up highlighted button color, for example, green. Let's change the font color. Maybe disable some border radius to make it more rectangular. And also you can play with other styles here. But let's check how our buttons will work. When we hover it, it changes as our rollover image. If you are working in Outlook, please do not forget to enable support of Outlook, because sometimes Outlook can independently cut CSS styles from your button too, and your button could lose its consistency and beauty. So to prevent this happened, we created support for Outlook, and when you enable this control, system adds special VML code directly in the button to protect it. Okay, and the last block I want to show you guys is timer, special marketing block. You can scroll down till your main CTA, for example, drag and drop timer right here, and choose the timer end date, and system generates new timer image here, and it helps you to create additional urgency of your email and push your customer to make a decision, for example. What can be done with the timer block? You can choose necessary time zone, for example, US Hawaii. Change the timer background color. Also, you can change label language, for example, on Deutsch. You can also add expired timer image that will be visible, then your timer will show end date. And let's increase font size of our timer. We can make timer clickable also, and add alternative text, for example. Do not miss. We also advise you to have alternative text to each of your image, as it could help screen readers to visualize what your image is portraying, or help your customer if their email client suddenly disable all the images for some reason. So they at least will have alternative text. Also, we can adjust width our timer. Okay. Guys, we have finished our template, for example, and before exporting, I offer you to test it. To test it, you need to click on the button test and send test directly to your email client. For example, in mine version, it's Gmail. Let's update the page and wait for test. Oh yeah, here is it. Oh, sorry. Great, guys. So we see that our templates looks okay. By the basic plan and further, we offer a special testing tool, Email on Asset, with which we are integrated. So to test it on emails on ACID, you need to click on Test and run the test option here. And when system uploads the result, you will be able to see how your template looks like on mobile, how it displays on iPhones, on Outlook, on Android, and in different applications such as Outlook, in the web version, in the browser Chrome, Edge, Firefox. Sorry, my internet is a little bit late today and slow, so we need to wait a little bit while all the results will be uploaded by the system. And then it will be uploaded. We can even download the results of our testing by clicking on this button and download archive. Or have you remember our link to web version of our template? Here is it. And we can also add result of this test to this link. Yeah, to give possibility to your customers not only review template, but also see the test results. Sorry, my internet. Washing machine is spinning. What about this test? Oh, we see that they were uploaded already. So great. Okay, we have tested and found that previous version of our templates looks actually better. We have got you covered. Do not worry. Click on version history and recover necessary version in 30 days period. For example, this one. And we can recover any template from 30 days. And after, we are ready to export, by the way. When you have free billing plan, you will have 4 attempts of exporting a month, and you will be able to export directly in Gmail and Outlook as HTML file, archive or code, also as PDF or image or via webhook. In our case, we will export as code and put in iContact to check how our email will be displayed there. Let's click on export right here. Click on HTML. Click on HTML code. Copy to clipboard. And let's open our iContact profile here. Click on create message. Great, guys. Click on HTML editor. Let's pick up subject line and preview text wherever, just for sample, and enter our input our code right here like this and hit preview. So guys, you see that our template looks good. And on mobile version, it also looks consistent and beautiful. Great, guys. Let's go back to the editor. By the way, today I have showed you only 30% of Stripo capacities. In case you're craving to see more, you can always request for a demo. On our site, you need to scroll down till the book a demo and input your email right here and book it. By the way, you're welcome to be a part of our education process in Stripo Academy. The link will be down below. It will allow new customers to be familiar with Stripo. or for already existing customer, it's good chance to upgrade their knowledge. So we will happy to see you in our Stripo Academy. So my presentation ends now, and I hope it was useful for you and you enjoyed it. Bye bye.
Thanks, Jane. That was awesome. I really appreciated
All the different things you could do in Stripo.
and I hope that people will, number one, go into iContact, start using the iContact editor,
And try Stripo and see what you could do in Stripo and
bring over those emails into iContact. If you've done that or you do that in the future, drop us a line and let us know. Webinars@icontact.com. I'd like to see what you do with Stripo if you use it and see if it's beneficial to add all of those really cool features. With that, I want to thank you for your time today, and I hope to see you in our next webinar. See ya.